What a massive event this turned out to be. Alex Pereira, also known as Poetin, delivered another brutal performance, defeating Magomed Ankalaev to reclaim his belt in spectacular fashion. But alongside that headline moment, the bantamweight division witnessed its own historic achievement. Merab Dvalishvili, the Machine, from Georgia, successfully defended his bantamweight title for the third consecutive time, tying the divisional record and further solidifying his status as one of the greatest bantamweights in UFC history. Despite the dominance he displayed, Merab is not slowing down. In fact, he is already looking ahead to his next challenge. During his post-fight interview with MMA Junkie, the reigning champion revealed his desire to return to action as soon as December. His target? None other than former champion Petr Yan. The two have met before, in a fight where Dvalishvili showcased sheer dominance from beginning to end. While many believe a rematch would lead to the same outcome, Merab insists he wants to give Yan another opportunity, recognizing his recent success and accomplishments. Merab expressed admiration for Yan's resurgence, noting that he is currently on a 3-fight winning streak and has proven himself worthy of stepping back into a title fight. Dvalishvili explained that he doesn't want to sit idle or wait around for the division to catch up. Instead, he wants to stay busy, keep defending his belt, and continue proving why he is the cardio king of the bantamweight division. His words reflect the mentality of a true champion, someone unwilling to rest on past accomplishments and always striving to test himself against the very best. One of the most talked about moments from his most recent defense was the near finish against Corey Sandhagen. Dvalishvili admitted he believed the referee should have stepped in to stop the fight, claiming he was robbed of a decisive finish. Regardless, he still delivered another trademark performance that left little doubt about his superiority. Time and time again, Merab has forced elite contenders to look ordinary, overwhelming them with his relentless pressure, unmatched stamina, and smothering grappling. Breaking down Sandhagen's performance, Merab gave credit where it was due. He admitted that Sandhagen's preparation impressed him, particularly his ability to defend takedowns and create resistance in the grappling exchanges. Sandhagen forced Merab to adjust, making the wrestling exchanges more difficult than expected. Interestingly, Merab revealed that striking against Sandhagen felt easier compared to wrestling with him, which speaks to how well-rounded and durable Sandhagen is as a competitor. Still, Merab's ability to adapt mid-fight ensured another clear victory. At this point, Merab has already defeated nearly every top contender in the division. This raises the question of what comes next for the Georgian powerhouse. A rematch with Petr Yan feels like the perfect storyline for December, especially since the UFC currently has no confirmed main event for that month. If booked, it would not only give Yan a chance at redemption but also allow Merab to continue building his legacy by defending his title against another former champion. Merab Dvalishvili has made it clear. He is ready, willing, and eager to step back into the octagon before the year ends. With his relentless pace, championship mentality, and hunger to compete, fans can expect nothing less than another high-octane performance from the bantamweight king. Yuri Prochazka wasted no time making his intentions known following his devastating knockout victory over Khalil Rountree. Just moments after delivering one of the most electrifying finishes of the night, the former light heavyweight champion took to the microphone to issue a direct call-out to Alex Pereira, demanding a trilogy bout. The challenge immediately sent shockwaves through the MMA community, but it also raised questions, considering Prochazka has already fallen short against Pereira twice. The timing of the call-out adds further intrigue, as the light heavyweight division is currently in a state of uncertainty. Rising contender Carlos Ulberg has been carving out his own path of destruction, looking dominant in recent outings and positioning himself as the most logical next challenger for the title. Ulberg's momentum has fans and analysts alike speculating that he is the rightful #1 contender. At the same time, Pereira has openly entertained the idea of moving up to heavyweight, teasing the possibility of a blockbuster super fight. This potential move, coupled with Prochazka's call-out, has left the future of the division in chaos. UFC President Dana White has only added fuel to the speculation. In recent comments, White admitted he is very interested in seeing Pereira make the jump to heavyweight but clarified that no decisions have been finalized. According to him, conversations with the champion are still needed to determine the best course of action. With several compelling options on the table, Ulberg's rise, Prochazka's trilogy push, and Pereira's own heavyweight ambitions, the light heavyweight title picture remains wide open. Prochazka's call-out, while bold, did not come without its fair share of scrutiny. His knockout of Roundtree was undeniably spectacular, but his performance throughout the first 2 rounds raised some concerns. Rather than displaying the relentless aggression he is known for, Prochazka appeared overly patient, waiting for counter-opportunities that never fully materialized. He himself acknowledged this in the post-fight press conference, admitting that he miscalculated his approach early on. "I was too patient," Prochazka explained. "I waited too much for a counter. I thought I was in the right place and that I would catch him cleanly. But Roundtree's technique and defense were on point. He was waiting for my attacks, defending well, and resetting. I had to change my strategy, and I did in the 3rd round." That adjustment ultimately led to the knockout, showcasing Prochazka's ability to adapt and capitalize when it mattered most. When asked what a 3rd fight with Pereira would look like, Prochazka expressed confidence that he has learned from his previous defeats and would not repeat the same mistakes. "I will take everything I've learned from those 2 fights and improve," he said. "I will be better. I will find a way." Whether the UFC grants him the opportunity remains to be seen. With Ulberg's momentum and Pereira's potential move to heavyweight, the promotion faces difficult matchmaking decisions in the coming months. One thing, however, is certain. Yuri Prochazka's knockout win has reignited his presence in the title conversation, and his call-out ensures that fans will be debating the future of the 205-pound division for weeks to come. The MMA world is buzzing once again, as Alex Pereira, fresh off his dominant win over Magomed Ankalaev, finds himself at the center of multiple blockbuster storylines. Just moments after Pereira reclaimed his belt, middleweight champion Khamzat Chimaev wasted no time issuing a call-out. Taking to social media, Chimaev congratulated Pereira but reminded him that they still had unfinished business. The tweet immediately ignited speculation across the MMA community, with fans eagerly imagining what a showdown between Pereira and Chimaev could look like. However, Pereira quickly shut down the possibility, at least for now. Speaking at the post-fight press conference, the Brazilian made it clear that his attention is not on Chimaev, nor on any potential challenger at middleweight or light heavyweight. Instead, Pereira stated that he is solely focused on moving up to heavyweight. While many expected him to show interest in facing the winner of Tom Aspinall vs Cyril Gane for the heavyweight crown, Pereira surprised everyone by dismissing that possibility. His eyes, he revealed, are set on something far bigger, a super fight with Jon Jones. Pereira described this as the type of matchup that could transcend the sport, calling it a generational fight that would not only test his legacy but also stand as one of the most significant events in UFC history. "Thanks to KAMZAT for the congratulations," Pereira remarked. "But all I want is a super fight. I want to fight at heavyweight." His response left little doubt that his ambitions have shifted away from defending his current belt and toward creating a historic moment. Interestingly, not everyone in Pereira's circle of influence is entirely against the Chimaev matchup. Arman Tsarukyan, Chimaev's teammate, has publicly stated his belief that Chimaev has the skills to be a major threat beyond middleweight. Tsarukyan has encouraged him to first make the jump to light heavyweight before eventually testing himself at heavyweight, claiming that Chimaev's style and physicality would allow him to thrive even against the biggest names in the sport. With that in mind, some still hold out hope that the paths of Pereira and Chimaev could collide in the near future. Adding another layer of intrigue, UFC President Dana White recently commented on Pereira's ambitions. While acknowledging the champion's desire to move up, White admitted he wasn't entirely sold on the idea of Pereira fighting at heavyweight just yet. He emphasized that there are still options available for Pereira at light heavyweight and that further discussions with the champion are needed before a decision is made. When asked if he had a message for White, Pereira dismissed the question with a confident smile, saying, "No need, we already talked backstage." The uncertainty surrounding Pereira's future only heightens the excitement in the light heavyweight division. Between Chimaev's call-out, Carlos Ulberg's rise as a legitimate contender, and Pereira's own heavyweight aspirations, fans are left wondering which direction the UFC will ultimately take. For now, one thing is clear: Pereira is chasing greatness. Whether that means a clash with Chimaev, a defense against another light heavyweight, or a monumental showdown with Jon Jones, the possibilities promise fireworks. Even if these dream matchups take time to materialize, the mere talk of them has fans already buzzing. Pereira's legacy is no longer just about defending belts. It's about seizing the kind of fights that define eras. UFC 320 was nothing short of spectacular, and while the event delivered jaw-dropping moments across the board, few performances resonated more than Merab Dvalishvili's dismantling of Corey Sandhagen. Among those deeply moved was featherweight champion Ilia Topuria, who could not hide his admiration for his close friend and fellow Georgian warrior. Taking to Instagram shortly after the fight, Topuria poured his heart out in a message originally written in Spanish and later translated into English. His words carried the weight of both pride and respect. "Brother, we have already reached the point where your victories seem almost normal, but we all know how hard it is to get there. I say this with pride. You are a living legend, an example of hard work, sacrifice, and heart. Beyond being a fighter, you are an incredible person with a soul too big for your chest. We love you, we support you, and we are with you in every step." This emotional tribute highlighted the bond between two of Georgia's most celebrated fighters, both of whom embody relentless work ethic, discipline, and unwavering determination. Merab's performance was nothing short of legendary, an all-out showcase of his unmatched cardio and pressure-heavy style, which left Sandhagen overwhelmed and unable to keep pace. The victory tied Merab with divisional records and further cemented his status as one of the greatest bantamweights in UFC history. For Ilia Topuria, watching his friend shine was as inspiring as it was personal. As El Matador gears up for his own next chapter, he acknowledged just how meaningful it is to witness Merab's consistency at the highest level. And with Topuria's own star rising, the timing couldn't be more perfect. Looking ahead, Topuria's return to the octagon is expected in early 2026, and anticipation is already through the roof. While there has been speculation about potential opponents, some pundits even floated Justin Gaethje as a possible challenger. All signs currently point to Paddy Pimblett as the frontrunner for Topuria's first title defense at lightweight. If confirmed, the matchup between Topuria and Pimblett would not only serve as the headliner for Paramount's first UFC card of the new year but also deliver one of the most highly anticipated clashes in recent memory. The fight has been brewing for years, with fans and media alike clamoring for the two polarizing stars to settle their rivalry inside the cage. Pimblett, meanwhile, has been vocal about his preparations. In recent interviews, he stressed his focus on improving timing and refining his stand-up, but he also doubled down on the strength of his grappling game. "When I get people on the floor, they don't get back up," Pimblett said. "I smother them, make them feel my weight, and punish them with shots. Once I'm on top of you, you're not getting up." Pimblett also admitted that the hectic travel schedule of recent months has been a distraction, but now he is back home, settled, and training consistently. "It's nice to just be home, be settled, be in the gym training with everyone," he added. With Topuria's admiration fueling Merab's legacy and his own looming clash with Pimblett drawing closer, the UFC's new year is shaping up to be explosive. Between Dvalishvili's dominance and Topuria's rise, Georgian MMA is thriving, and fans around the world are watching with excitement. Islam Makhachev has taken his preparation for the biggest fight of his career to an entirely new level. Ahead of his highly anticipated welterweight title clash with Jack Della Maddalena, the lightweight champion has bulked up to a staggering 191 pounds, showcasing a frame fans and analysts had not seen from him before. The news came straight from Makhachev's longtime coach Javier Mendez, who recently spoke with Red Corner MMA. Initially, the team believed they would be undersized compared to Della Maddalena, a natural welterweight with a solid build. However, Mendez admitted those concerns have now been put to rest. "I was thinking we're going to be quite a bit smaller than Jack, but then I saw Islam," Mendez explained. "He's put on the weight really nicely. I think Islam right now is about a solid 191 pounds. So, we're not going to have the issue with jumping up in weight." Adding muscle mass while maintaining speed and cardio has always been one of the toughest challenges for fighters moving up divisions, and Makhachev himself admitted the process of bulking up was harder than expected. Yet recent photos and training clips have shown a stronger, more imposing version of the Dagestani champion, signaling that his move to 170 pounds has been carefully executed. The strategy for Makhachev's fight with Della Maddalena also seems to be evolving. While most assume that the lightweight champion will rely heavily on his wrestling to neutralize the Australian's crisp boxing, Mendes suggested a more balanced approach. If Islam has to stand with him just because he can't take him down, then he'll stand with him, Mendes said. We have to take whatever opportunities we can, either that Jack opens up or that we force him to. We're not looking to take Jack to the ground exclusively. We're looking to take advantage wherever we can. This adaptability has been one of Makhachev's trademarks. While he has built his reputation on suffocating grappling and relentless pressure, his striking has also improved tremendously under the guidance of his team. Against a dangerous striker like Della Maddalena, flexibility in the game plan may prove to be the deciding factor. Interestingly, Makhachev's ambitions extend well beyond the welterweight division. The reigning lightweight king has previously teased the possibility of moving up to middleweight, with dreams of becoming the UFC's first ever triple champion. That confidence in his physical potential is echoed by others who have trained with him. Punahele Soriano, who competes at middleweight, shared his own experience training with Makhachev during an interview with MMA Junkie. Soriano recalled a sparring session when Makhachev was still fighting at lightweight. I hadn't been training, and Ali Abdelaziz texted me to come in. I show up, and it's just me and Islam. This was still 155 Islam, and I was middleweight. He just beat the life out of me the whole training. I think he's going to be great at welterweight. He's got a huge frame, and he'll fill in just fine. Honestly, I think him and Jack have very similar builds. With the Makhachev vs Della Maddalena fight rapidly approaching, the intrigue continues to build. Can the lightweight champion carry his dominance into a new division? Or will Della Maddalena's striking prove too much? One thing is certain. Makhachev looks bigger, stronger, and hungrier than ever before. Fans around the world are preparing for a showdown that could reshape not only the welterweight division but potentially the legacy of one of the sport's most disciplined athletes.